Good evening and welcome back. 2 years ago, 34-year-old Kevin Jackson was killed while sitting in his car in Crisfield. WMDT's Layla Wea has been following this case and has more on what life for Kevin's family has looked like ever since.
Not a day goes by that Kevin Jackson's mom and dad don't think about their son. In this edition of Trail to the Truth, we sat down and tried to get to the bottom of who killed Kevin. Saturday, August 19th, 2023 was just like any regular day for 34-year-old Kevin Jackson. He spent that afternoon getting his daughter Ivy ready for the upcoming school year, his dad Keith Jackson tagging along.
And took her to the carnival, took her school shopping and took her to the carnival. But it's just a normal day, leading up to the calls.
That call came in the early morning hours of Sunday, August 20th. It was Keith's daughter.
She said, "Dad, well, I gotta go identify Kevin." I said, "What you mean?" She said, "Well, I have to go identify Kevin." They called me, the police want me to come identify Kevin. And she told me that what had happened, that he had been shot.
Kevin was shot while sitting in his car outside of his house in the Summers Cove community. The neighborhood that had just been quiet as people slept in their homes was now swarming with concerned residents and police.
We did a large canvass of the neighborhood trying to find any residential cameras, anybody that may have heard something or saw something. Being that it was late in the night though, there's not the same amount of foot traffic you would have during broad daylight.
Crisfield isn't immune to gun violence. 2 homicide cases, including Kevin's, remain unsolved to this day. That's why Kevin's mom, Terry Jackson, was against her son living in the area. Call it a mother's intuition, but she did not want her boy, the youngest boy of 3, hanging up his hat in Crisfield.
I didn't like Crisfield. One way in, one way out. And then, you know, too much gang affiliated down Crisfield.
But Kevin's parents say he moved to the beat of his own drum. He decided to start a new life with his daughter in the city, calling Crisfield home for about 4 years. And his dad lived right in the county, which meant they got to spend a lot of time together.
I was glad to have him back in the area because he came back from New York. He was at Niagara Falls, New York, with his older brother, that's older than him, the middle boy of the 3. And I was glad to have him back.
But Terry felt differently. While her son was living down there, she says he had some bad experiences to a point that she started worrying for Kevin's safety.
He said, "I'm not going to run, Mom." And I say, "It's not running. Just get out of Crisfield for a while." And I just had that feeling. I said, "Boy, if you don't get out of Crisfield, something's going to happen to you." And I couldn't shake that feeling. And here's the results.
After the break, never before seen surveillance footage that could point to the shooter and a plea for justice from Kevin's family.
Now, a little over 2 years later, police are still working to find who killed Kevin. Corporal Kyle Breitmeyer with Maryland State Police says they followed up on leads, forensics testing, and asked the public for help, hoping to garner interest, but they haven't been able to find that missing piece that could complete this puzzle.
We have hit sort of a roadblock where we need the public's help in identifying these people. The public isn't around these people more often. They see people. Sometimes I only meet people for the first time during the case where they may know them from grade school.
The person in this footage is who police want to identify. They're pictured walking in Summers Cove shortly after the shots rang out, wearing a white tank top and dark shorts, which they appeared to be pulling something out of. Breitmeyer says this person of interest could hold the answers they've been looking for.
If the person that is on camera views them on camera, I would love to talk to them and have them be completely honest. If they are in the wrong, come forward and help, because Kevin's family's hurting, and I think the members of Crisfield and the residents of that area would also like to know that whoever did this is off the streets and it's a isolated incident.
2 summers have come and gone without their son, and the feelings are still the same for Terry and Keith. Losing Kevin had a ripple effect in their family. Terry had to leave the Eastern Shore because the memories of her boy were too hard to face, and Keith still lives in the same community and is still searching for the same answers. The two hope that someone will have the courage to come forward so they can finally begin the healing process.
I can't describe it because there's so many emotions, you know. I wouldn't want anybody else to go through it. I wouldn't want anybody else to go through it.
I had my good days, I had my bad days, but it's been rough. I really want to find out who killed him so my son can rest in peace. I really do. His soul right now is not resting in peace. It's not, and mine's either.
Now, if you recognize the individual in that video or have any information at all that could lead to an arrest in this case, Corporal Breitmeyer says you can contact him directly at 443-480-6818.